Hi Flosstube. Welcome back to my channel. I am Jade, I'm the 310 Stitcher, and I am gonna try to do this without my glasses so you don't get the glare, because that's annoying even me. Welcome back. As the case may be, thank you so much for spending some of your precious time with me. I'm back. It's been a couple of weeks, I guess. My last visit with you was February 14th, so it's now March 4th, so it's been about 2.5 weeks. And today I am going to share with you my non-focus projects. So you might recall, or if you've been here before, then you may know that I have somewhere around 28 projects or so that are active for this year, and then the remaining about 25 I've put into temporary hibernation for next year, just because I wanted to get a little bit more work done on on a fewer number of projects, just so that I can see progress a little bit better than if I'm working on 50 projects and just put in 100 stitches here or there. And the way that I have things set up is that I have actually 8 projects that I count as my focus projects. And those are the projects that I work on every single week. I try to get to every single one of them. I have minimum goals. I have minimum goals for all 20 something. But for these 8 projects, I do my best. I do my absolute best to make sure that I get those goals completed every week. And then when there's time left, then I pull out the other 20-something projects and try to get those goals in. Those goals are much smaller, so the 8 focus goals have several thousand stitches, in some cases per week. The other ones have, 100 to anywhere from 100 to 600 stitches, but they don't always get worked on. It really depends on what's happening that week and how much time I have left after completing the focus projects. So this time, and I show you those every other video. So you're seeing the progress that you see each time on the focus and then the non-focus projects is about 4 weeks worth of progress. And this time I'm showing you the non-focus projects. So there's not a ton of, there isn't a ton of progress on each of these, but I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 projects. And actually I should say, I'm going to do the same thing that I did the last time or a month ago, which is that I'm going to show you actually 2 of the focus projects with this as well. And that's because they're not full coverage, whereas the other 6 are. And these are mini finishes. And I typically get those done at the end of the month because, procrastinator, ADHD, nothing gets done except for at the last minute. So both of those projects I just finished a couple of days ago. It was the same thing last time, so it just makes sense to kind of show you those here as well. So we'll start with those actually. So those 2 are my Tarot Sal and my Flower of the Month Sal. So let me show you what those are going to look like, and I should have turned this on in advance. My apologies. Just bear with for 1 second. Okay, I'll show you the Tarot Sal first. What that is going to look like. So this is the Major Arcana, 22 cards. The top says Tarot, or it's a bit cut off, but anyway. Let the cards speak, and then it's just each one of the 22 cards from the Fool to the World. So my goal with this one is to get, because let's back up. This was a stitch along from Witch's Garden Crafts the year before last, so that would be 2022. And I really want to get it done. I want to get it finished this year. So my goal is to finish 2 cards per month. So if I can finish 2 cards per month, then I should have it done by about October. And then there will be just minor finishes, like things like, you know, the back stitch where I haven't finished. And there are, in the border, let me just show you real quick. Let me make this bigger. In the border, I don't know if it's not really coming out that well, but in these little stars here, you can see the little black dot and then the yellow around. So those were those yellow stitches or gold stitches. Most of them I've not done because there was nowhere to really anchor them at the beginning and or as I was going. So for the most part, those are still to be done, which is fine. So that'll get done at the very end. But without further ado, let me show you the 2 cards that I finished. So I finished the Hanged Man and Death. So as you can see, I've done the back stitching on Death, but I've not done the back stitching on the Hanged Man yet. I screwed up so much with this card. I pulled out probably half of it, which is a few thousand stitches, believe it or not. A couple of times. I kept messing up and getting things in the wrong place. The way I'm stitching these is by color completing. So, and I don't have this gridded. I mean, you see a little bit of gridding there, but the grids actually are messed up because when I did, the first thing I did on this project was do all the boxes. And unfortunately I did not have it gridded. So unfortunately I counted wrong. And so I think actually, I guess it's this one. This column has 1 stitch too few. And so when I'm counting off of the pattern, I kept counting wrong because I totally forgot I did that because it was 2 years ago. Anyways, it's all finished now. Thankfully, I'm very happy to have that finished. It took me a couple of extra days than it should have. But anyways, all done. I'm happy with Death as well. And the Hangman will look a lot better once I backstitch him, which I'm not in a hurry to do. Now that this is done, I'm going to leave the backstitching till the end. Yeah, so let me show you the whole thing. So far, this is where we are. So I have 5, 6, 7, 8 cards left. So that's 4 months, which is awesome. So I'm really, really, really looking forward to that. Super excited. Maybe this will be my card. You could probably see the fabric was not cut well at all, which was a little annoying, but I have enough to frame it, so I'm okay. It's fine. So let me just fold that up. So that's awesome. So that's 1. I'm counting these as a finish, just for the purposes of motivation. And it's my channel, I can do what I want. Okay, so that was the first one. The second one I want to show you. Bear with again. Was my flowers of the month. And so this was I don't know if it was a stitch along, but it was a series of patterns that came out in 2010 by Ellen. So I need my glasses. Sorry, I can't read. Ellen Maurer-Stroh, Maurer-Stroh, in case you're wondering. And in 2010, she pulled a series of 12 flowers together. So they're all individual patterns. You can do them individually if you want. I've chosen to do them all in one. I saw it, I got the idea, well, the first time I saw this actually was the Stitching Fae. Oh, I just figured out how to do these. Is this gonna work? Yay! Stitching Fae on Flosstube had this done all together, and I really loved it. And there was someone else as well. I think it was the Rocking Stitcher as well. Had been working on this. I don't know if she's finished it. She must have finished it by now. But anyways, so I've also chosen to do them all at the same time. And this month, so I'm doing one per month with the goal of finishing the entire thing this year. I had started this back in October, so I should again finish this by about October, ideally, fingers crossed. And this month's was the Aster. That's the flower. I'm sorry, I don't have a picture of the whole thing, but you'll get a sense of what it looks like in a minute. So this was the Aster. Let's see if I can move this a bit closer. There we go. That's okay. I loved this. I just love, like, this pattern is unbelievable. It does not have back stitching, this one. Some of them do. But it doesn't need the back stitching because the depth of color and the different colors of purple just give it so much depth, and the back stitching would be extraneous, I think. So the one, there's a couple of differences from the pattern. One is I am adding, same with Stitching Fae, I am adding the names down here. I'm typically taking the common name, not the Latin official name. I didn't look up Aster this time. I didn't look up Aster actually to see if there was a different name for it. I wanted to get this finished because again, it took me. I was a little frustrated with this one because I made again, I made a bunch of mistakes. I am improving though. This one, similar to the tarot one, I'm doing on linen, as you might be able to tell. This one is on 28 count witch elt white. No, it's 28 count Permin in the colorway white chocolate. The other one is I think it's Belfast linen, but I'm not 100% sure. Again, I bought it a few years ago before I knew anything. Anyway, so this one, I made so many mistakes. So I am improving in that I'm not, earlier on, I was making errors with doing the 2/2, so I am doing it 2/2. And I kept doing in some cases 3 stitches and or 3 threads, and in some cases 1 thread. So I would end up off. I don't have that issue anymore, but just the counting, I did screw up on the counting a few times. So I had to, fudge it, but I think it looks great. What do you think? I love it. Let me show you the whole thing. So that is flower number 6. So it's going to be 4x3. As you can see, the reason I went down here instead of over here next to that one on the second row is because last month I had extra time, and I had already done all my stitching for Dragons of the Sabbat, and had a migraine, so didn't want to I wanted to stitch. I wanted to keep my hands busy, but I didn't want to use my brain too much. So I just grabbed the 3864, which is the border, and just did the border. So I ended up doing, for some reason, because this was in my Q-snap. This one had been in my Q-snap when I finished. And it covered this as well. So I did this box and I did this. So this time around when I came, I'm like, you know what? I don't feel like finishing the box right now. I'm going to go with the boxes completed. So that's what I did. I chose September's. So yeah, so that's it there. I think it looks fantastic. So this one, when it is finished, I will have it framed and put in my kitchen, I think. Let me grab some coffee. In my owl mug. I have migraine again today, and coffee sometimes helps, so I'm sorry if I'm going to stop frequently and drink, just because it is my first coffee of the day and I really need it. The meds aren't helping much. Okay, let's go on to the non-focus projects. Okay, so I'm going to grab my iPad here because I'm going to need that to show you what they look like. All right, so what's the first one? We'll just go from the top of the pile. I have them all piled right here on my table. And so I'm just going to pull them off. This is that Ada that stands on its own. I almost thought about washing it, but I don't really want to redo all the... I don't really want to redo all of the gridding that I've done. I know, hashtag lazy. Okay, let me show you what it's going to look like first. This is Magic Study by Rose Kahn. It's in Heaven and Earth design, but I understand that Rose Kahn is now retired from Heaven and Earth design, so I don't know if you're going to be able to find this eventually on Paint. I think she's gone over to Paint Free Crafts, so you might be able to get it there at some point. I don't know, but this is what it looks like. This is the rainbow version, so not the original limited edition. I love this project so much, and I really wish the fabric was better, because the fabric is definitely a deterrent. It's not the first project that I reach for as a result when I have the time, but I still want to keep making progress. So, and I'm gonna have to put my glasses on again. Magic Study. So I put in, since last time you saw it, I put in 290 stitches. So I haven't touched this part. This you've all seen before. I put in the 290 stitches here because I think what I'm going to do is finish this page. That's the end of the page there. And then I'll come back and do these, and I'll work on filling up this Q-snap before I move on. So it's not a lot. 290 stitches is almost nothing, and I think I only worked on this for one day, unfortunately. This past week I didn't even have enough time to finish all of my focus goals. So there's two big goals that I did not get to. Haven't been feeling well. I've had family that hasn't been feeling well either, so been dealing with the sickness, so oh well. Okay, so the next one I want to show you is Fortune Teller. So this one I put even fewer stitches. Oh, let me show you what it looks like. Now that I have put it into Markup RXP. The first 3 pages of this I did from paper because it was part of my vision therapy. So that is what she looks like. Tanya, Stitching Addicted, and Enchanted Stitching as well. I'm blanking on your name, I'm sorry. Are also doing this. Tanya is so far ahead. I think she's gone all the way and she's into the face now. I am working on my 4th page. I had done 3 pages all the way across the top. I know some of it is cut off. It's up there. And I'm working on this page down here. This is artwork by Luciana Lebel, and it is from Pain Free Crafts. And their pages are much smaller than Hade. I actually really like the size of these pages. They seem a lot more doable. But anyway, I only worked on this for a day as well in the past month, which is embarrassing. But like I said, it's been a month. I put in 153 stitches, just where you can see there. So nothing really. I've been working on all the black. So this, yeah. So I'm gonna do all the black. I've been doing this for a few projects. I've been just color completing all the black on the page and then going back and filling in as I go for the other colors. All right, so that is Fortune Teller. All right, the next one on my list, or in my pile, I should say. Oh, this one is, I always get these 2 mixed up. Hang on one second. Because I started them around the same time, and so I always get them a bit mixed up. Okay, so this one is Fairy Tale Cottage. So this is, shoot. Let me just pick these up. Sorry, it's my notebook and pen. So this is Fairy Tale Cottage. It is a pattern by the Cross Stitch Studio. I believe the artwork is by Abraham Hunter. And I'm still working on the first page. There it is. It is a beautiful pattern. So I'm just up here in the top left corner. I love it. It is a biggie. This thing is massive. It has 721,523 stitches. So who knows if it'll ever get done. I hope so in my lifetime, but for the moment I'm just on the first page. So I'm just into that tree with the red and yellow and brown leaves. And since the last time you saw this, I put in, come on, where are you? I didn't write it down. So anyways, it's probably not much, but right now there's a total of 2,800 stitches out of the 721,000. So long way to go. This one works pretty well for me. You can see how much fabric there is in there. It's rolled up pretty tightly, and yeah, that works pretty well for me. Ooh. Put it back in my bag. The floss is really a monster. And since I have a bag that fits this very nicely, so this is again from Kaylee 10 Stitch. Kaylee, I need more of your bags, and I'm probably gonna go broke at Stitch North. But anyways, there's the fabric. Okay, so that's that one. The next, okay, this one I'm excited about. And let me grab the picture. So this is a Hade pattern by Amy Stewart. I have quite a few of her patterns. By Amy Stewart, it is the blooms, butterflies, I can't remember what the other bee is. There's 3 bees. I don't remember. Anyways, BBB World Map is what I call it. This is a supersize. I think it's a max color, but I can't remember. And this is what that looks like. It is absolutely gorgeous. Again, I don't know if it'll ever be finished in my lifetime. I was stuck in the top left corner on the first page for quite a long time. The amount of confetti, I think it is a max color. Anyway, the amount of confetti was absolutely bonkers. And I just could not get through that first page. So that was like a huge slog. But I've made it. And I've now gone down here and over here. I finished that first page and I love it. I love it now. So I've put in almost 1,100 stitches since the last time we saw it. And 818 of those were on one day. I think that was last week. This was the only non-full coverage or non-focus piece that I picked up. And I just did, it was just I had the 1 day available, had a few hours, and that's what I did. I love it. Let's see if I can come in closer. No, it blows out, doesn't it? That looks better. You can see the blooms. Yeah. Anyways, I love it. Also a ton of fabric. This one has just a little bit less than the Foxglove Ball. No. What did I just show you? I just showed you Fairy Tale Cottage. That one had 721,000 and change. This one has 713,279 stitches. And I'm at 1.2%. So I hit that 1% mark. That felt like a big slog. So I'm glad I got that. Oh, it's hot in here. Okay. So the next project I have to show you is Mountain Cabin from Dominic Davidson. This is the regular size max color version, and I'll show you what it looks like. This was a start on December 31st, I think, or January 1st, actually, January 1st. And that's what it will look like. It's absolutely gorgeous. I've had this pattern for a couple of years now, and just been dying to start it. Was never sure about what the right timing was, but anyways, I'm glad I started it now. And again, I start in the top left corner with that tree that's there. right there. All right. January 1st. I'm doing this one on 22 count even weave because I had it. I've had this project kitted for almost 2 years. That includes the fabric and the floss. But anyway, there it is. And I have done, since last time you saw this, I put in a whole 215 stitches. I really like to get a lot more than that in, but that's all I had the time for. So 215. So you'll notice I have several projects on 22 or 23 count. I have projects on 25 count. I have projects on 28 and on 32 count. For this year, and then some of my patterns that are on hold till next year. There's some other counts as well. You know, the dimensions kits are like 14 and 16 and 18 count as well. But the 22 count, I was thinking about how I ended up with 22 count, and really when I started, I didn't know anything about anything. The Sunset in Venice was my first project. Sorry, that reflection's driving me nuts. Sunset in Venice was my first project, and I just chose the fabric that was listed, 25 count. I didn't go with linen, which had been suggested. I just went with an even weave. And I liked it. I found it quite small, and then I think I was watching the Needle Bug, and she had mentioned using 22 count, which was a little bit easier to see. So I bought a bunch of 22 count, and just to try it to see if I would like it better. It's okay. It is easy. It's definitely easier on the eyes. It's definitely easier on the eyes. The fabric I'm using for Dragons of Sabbat is a 20, well, they sold it as 22. I counted it as 23 count. And my only complaint with it is, well, my complaint with that one is that, especially with the black, and I'm using CXC black instead of DMC, because it's a bit thicker. It's a bit thicker than the DMC, and I was finding that 2 threads over 1, I'm doing it over 1, was still not enough coverage. You could still see a lot of the background fabric behind it. So I have to use 3 over 1. And that's definitely better, but you can still see a little bit of white. 4 over 1 I tried, and that's way too thick. So the 3 over 1 is the sweet spot. I don't want to see a ton of the background fabric. I like and full coverage. And I like the fact that when it is full coverage and you can't see the background, it's just so much more vibrant. At least that's what I'm finding. With this one, I'm using two threads over 1, and I'm finding that it's actually okay. But this even weave is different than, this is the China Aida, even weave, sorry, not Aida, and it's okay. Like I'm not seeing, the 2 over 1 is perfect. I'm not seeing the fabric in behind. Now, differences too that on Dragons of Sabbat, I'm using 3 over 1, but half stitch. This is 2 over 1 full stitch. Full stitch. I had started doing half stitch, and I've decided that I like the vibrancy of the full stitch, so that's what I'm, full cross. So that's what I'm doing. Anyways, a lot to say over nothing. I'm sorry. Okay, the next project I have. I also only worked for one day in the past month due to life. Busy work, sick family, being under with major migraines myself. This is Pompeian Lady. It is a Heaven and Earth design. I can't remember who the artist is at this moment. I started this quite a while ago as well. Does it say? No idea. Oh, it says it started April 2023. I don't know if that's accurate though. Might be. Anyways, this is not a huge project. It has just short of 106,000. I'm at 6.6%, so I've done just over 7,000 stitches. But in the last month, I have done a whole 535 stitches, and mostly in here, just filling this stuff. So again, I'm going to finish this page. I'm going to finish this page and then come back over. That's the whole width of the thing. That is the whole width of the project, so it's not very big. I do really like it. I like the colors. So this one this is being done on a 25 count even weave. And this one took went on the back burner because I think I explained this once before, but I had, oh yes, okay, so April 23rd is not the correct date because I had it on my markup RXP in my iPad, my old iPad, and I was doing Royal Rose, so I'd gone all the way across using Royal Rose, and then my iPad died and I lost all the progress, even though I'd backed up and whatever. Anyways, doesn't matter. I lost all the progress, so it was easy to mark off what was complete because Royal Rose, you've got the whole 20 stitch high row all the way across, but none of these were marked anymore. So now it's like, it's slow going because I have to double check that what is parked there, what does it show, what color does it show in markup RXP, and then double check against the color, the floss, the actual floss, to make sure it's the right one, because in some cases I parked in the wrong spots. So it's slow going. It's fine. It'll get there. I'm not in a huge rush. Honestly, I'm not even sure why I put this on my focus pieces for this, or why I left it for this year, but could have probably put it for next year, but it's fine. I will get to it. That same issue is what happened with Magic Study, which is why that one is also, in addition to the fabric being not great. Anyways, whatever. My next project that I'd like to share with you is Scaredy Cats. This is another I don't know where that, I was trying to say Hade and Jeff. It is another Hade pattern by Jeff Haney. I love this I love this so much. And yes, I know it's not Halloween. I don't care. I like it. And let me see if I can hold up. There. Love it. So I've done, that's two 2 full pages. And so there's still maybe half a page below. I'm not 100% sure. I don't think I got to the bottom. I don't think I got to the bottom, but maybe. Anyways, just started on the pumpkin there. Those eyes were crazy confetti. They're so thick compared to the rest of it. This project is a really great mix of confetti and bulk stitching, which is awesome because it gives you the sense that you're actually making progress, even though there are some areas like those eyes that took forever. So it's a good mix. Anyway, that one is, since the last time I showed you, I put in 416, and essentially I just finished the pages. So the last time you saw it, there was a whole bunch of openings, confetti stitches and stuff in there. So I finished the pages. So next, I'm going to see if I have some down below here. I'm not 100% sure. And then if not, then I will move. No, so there's still more. Wait, is there? Yeah, there's still more. So there's still another page down below. One more page down below. So I'll probably do that and then work my way across. I know a lot of people cringe when they see tape on the edges of the fabric, but my sewing machine died about a year ago and I still haven't taken it to the sewing machine hospital to get fixed. That is actually the name of the place, Sewing Machine Hospital. So I have to do that. I haven't gotten around to it. So in the meantime, I'm using painter's tape because I would rather spend my time stitching than spending the time basting the edges. Okay. Last project. Yeah. No, there's one more project. Okay. So this project is called Zeus's Wrath. Let me just pull up the picture. So this was a pattern by Keely Tenstitch, the sewing shop. It's just taking a second here. Like I said, it's called Zeus's Wrath. And I adore this. I love that picture. Anyway, I'm still really in the early stages of this. So since the last time we saw this, I put in a whole 173 stitches. So not very much to show, I'm sorry. This is being done on a 27 count even weave from China. And I'm doing it half cross, 10 stitch, whatever. I love that. It'll get done at some point. So with this one, I am currently at 0.6%. So I haven't even hit 1%. There's a total of 360,500 stitches in this. And I'm at 2,030 stitches. So a long, long, long way to go with this one. Okay, I did have one more. Okay, here it is. I actually had two more, but I'm not gonna. Okay, I found it. Wasn't as hard as I thought. Okay, so this one is another Heaven and Earth design. It is Maxine by Hannah Disney. I'm sorry about the glare. So much for anti-reflection, eh? Okay. Here she is. Beautiful mermaid. The only mermaid I have going. Love her. This one is again, so it's slow going. I mean, I started this quite a long time ago. I don't know, because this again says April 2023, but I think that's when I got my new iPad. I started this quite a while ago, and it is a lot of block stitching, and I know it doesn't make any sense because my Dragons of the Sabbat is all block stitching right now. It's all black, but I love stitching black. This one, I don't know, I find a little bit boring. I find it a little bit boring to work on. So that's where I am right now. This is probably 2 years worth of work. I don't know. Since the last time you saw it, I put in a whole 150 stitches, which was primarily just coming down here. I don't know why is the block stitching in color bothering me when the block stitching all black. Like I've got 130,000 black stitches completed on Dragons of the Sabbat. And this one, I've got under 6,300 stitches, and I find it a little bit boring. I'm hoping that once I get to her and her hair and stuff, I'm hoping that that'll be better and more motivating. It's not huge. It's not a huge project. There's only 126,800 stitches in this, and I'm at 5% right now. So it's not a massive project, but I don't know. And also I put it in this thing. Obviously it doesn't fit. Whatever. I don't know how people find scroll rods to fit their stuff, because most of mine don't fit. That one does. That's Veil of Death right there. But anyways, I don't know. Okay, the next one I have, yeah, the last one I have to show you. No, I have 2 more. Why? Okay, sorry. The next one I want to show you is Foxglove Ball. So this is another pattern by Amy Stewart. It is a Heaven and Earth design. Let me show you the picture. There's someone else, and I'm blanking on who it is right now. I should have written it down, who is stitching this, and I hadn't seen anyone else stitch on this. So that's exciting, because it's a beautiful pattern. So it surprises me that I don't, there's not many people stitching this. Since the last time you saw it, I put in 245 stitches. So I worked on it one day. And markup RXP takes a second or two to, or takes a few seconds to load up. I'm sorry, I think I'm catching a cold. Or I have caught a cold. I definitely caught a cold, and the rest of my family has all been sick as dogs. Oh my goodness. Here we go. Let's make it smaller so that the whole thing shows. There we go. So this is quite large. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous piece. It's hard to see all the detail in this picture, but there is so much. There's a couple in a ball gown going up those stairs. There's just, the waterfall. Like it's a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous piece. And I can't wait to get more into it. Again, I'm still in the top left corner, which is where I start most of my pieces. But like I said, I put in 245 stitches, so I'm there. I'm still very early stages. This one is about the same size as Sunset in Venice, I think, which is about 520,625 stitches. So not my largest one. I'm at 0.4%, so I haven't even put 1% in yet. But love it. I like it, and I can't wait to get into. It's just I love the blue. I love blues too, right? The blues and greens are my favorite, so I can't wait to get into some of the jewel tones in there. Okay, and I want to show you my grand library, which is one of my favorite projects. And I say that even though I don't work on it all that much. But that's just because, excuse me, that's just because of focusing on my focus projects. I wish that this could be one of the focus projects, but it isn't. And I'm actually thinking about it. I'm thinking about dropping Colosseum off the focus projects list. I'm not 100% sure, but I think I may do that and put this one in instead. We'll see. I haven't fully decided. The Colosseum one has meaning to me, but I just love this so much. So this is Amy Stewart, another Heaven and Earth design. It's the Grand Library. And I'm in the top left. Again. This is being done on This is being done on 23 count. Yeah. 23 count even weave. And since last time you saw it, I put in a whole 432 stitches. So completed filled in all of this up here and started working my way down again. I may do this. I may do that. Colosseum has meaning for me. And part of the reason I was keeping it not only because of what it means, but what it means to me, but also because it is a 22, 23 count, whatever. Whereas all my others are 25 and 28 that I have on that list. Well, except for dragons. That's true. But if I swap out Colosseum for this one, I don't know. What do you think? Let me know. What would you prefer to see? So I have Colosseum. Let me know in the comments below. Which one do you think I should have as a focus piece? So Colosseum right now is a focus piece, so it gets worked on every single week, minus this past week. And Grand Library is a non-focus piece, so it gets worked on every month for sure, but not every week. What do you think? Leave me a comment down below. I really can't decide right now, so leave me a comment down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. So that is all of the non-focus cross-stitch projects. I do want to show you a knitting project as well. Okay, I realized that I can pause this, which is awesome. I never realized that the software I'm using is fairly new, so I didn't know that I could just pause as I needed to. And before I would just restart, which would be really annoying because then I had to put the two clips together. Anyways, right now, what I'd like to show you a little bit, there's still a few things I'd like to talk about. I want to show you some knitting projects. Do I want to talk about, well, first of all, maybe before I get to that, let's just finish the cross stitch stuff. In terms of cross stitch, a couple of other things I wanted to just chat about real quick. One is my store. The link is down below. I'm sorry if you can hear my cat talking right now. He's at the door. I'm gonna let him in. Sorry about that. Okay, my store, the link is down below. I have been, in the past month, I haven't really added any new patterns yet. My intention is to continue to add patterns because I still have a huge list that check it out. I still have a huge list of patterns that I am in the progress. Sorry, I just got an error message. I'm not sure what that is. Anyways, I have a bunch of projects that are in progress, or cross-stitch patterns that are in progress, but I've just been too sick, family too sick and all that stuff, so I haven't got to it yet. I did help one lady, one viewer, thank you very much, Denise, with the pattern that she wanted to have charted, and that was excellent. I actually really like that pattern, and I'm gonna have to chat with her and see if she would mind if I put it in my shop as well, because it was very cute, and it has a lot of meaning, I think, to a lot of people. Anyway, so that's that. I did realize I had made a big error in one of the patterns. So when I very first set up my shop, I was using software. I was using a different software, and that software was not Pattern Keeper compatible. When I moved to my new software, which is Pattern Keeper compatible, I recharted all of those, and put up the new patterns. But hey, I messed up on one of them, and so I ended up reloading one of the ones that wasn't. So I apologize for that. If that ever happens to you, it shouldn't now because I double checked them all. But if that ever happens to you, please just let me know, and I will fix it right away. I didn't, I hadn't meant to do that. That was a total accident. So I apologize for that. And one more cross stitch thing, I wanted to give a shout out to Accio WIP. Accio WIP, so it's Erica and Kevin, they're a married couple, and they are just fantastic. I was going to say they don't really do full coverage, but I think they do smaller full coverage. They're doing a bunch of the those travel posters that I've been seeing around a lot. But anyways, they do all kinds of things, and from sampler-esque type things to some full coverage. They do a lot of Harry Potter related stuff, which is awesome. I love that. A lot of dragons, and they're just fun. They're just fun to listen to, and and watch. So check them out if you can. I'll leave the link down below to them, and give them some love. That's it for the stitching content. So if that's all you were here for, then thank you very much for visiting, and I hope to see you again next time in about 2 weeks. I was actually thinking about possibly filming every week when I can. It depends again on the timing of things and how much I stitch. I was just thinking that would make my that could make my videos a little bit shorter, and I could show you all of the projects that I worked on that particular week. I'm not sure. I'm still debating that. I'm not sure that I will have time to do that, but anyways, so that's it for stitching. Thank you so much for being here. I do want to show you some knitting, a little bit of knitting and crochet. Just some people have expressed interest in that, so I do want to do that. I was a knitter first, then a crocheter, and now a cross stitcher. And I don't know what my cat is doing. Okay, I recently finished a pair of socks. I don't have them here to show you because I sent them off to a dear friend who is fighting throat cancer, unfortunately, and was complaining about cold feet. So I knit a pair of socks for him, and I sent those off. So I don't have those here to show you, unfortunately, but I do have my next pair of socks kitted up. And what I'm going to use is this yarn right here. Take the hair off. So I'm not sure if this will be for me or for my husband. I do owe him a pair of socks. He got bumped this time because of my friend. So I might do these for him. I'm not sure. We'll see. I might just start 2 pairs. Do these ones for me and do another pair for him. We'll see. He doesn't mind. What? What is it? Why? You're very chatty today. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry about that. He doesn't mind crazy yarn, crazy socks. I've knit some for him. I've knit some Mardi Gras ones for him before. He actually really likes those. And some other colors. I'm not sure. We'll see. I'm debating. I'm debating on that. But definitely, and I do have another pair on the go, which I couldn't find actually. I'm not sure. They might be in the car. Where I finished one, and I've completed the toes on the second sock. So I'm now onto the foot. So we'll get there. I'm also knitting a hat. This is a brioche hat. Hey, oh, sorry. This is a Hot Mess Express. I'm so sorry. My cat grabbed a tea bag out of the garbage and was starting to chew it up. Okay, back to the hat. This is the Harlow hat. It is a brioche hat. So brioche, if you're not familiar, there's actually two colors of yarn. So it looks like a rib. Well, it is a rib, but you're using two colors of yarn. So here's one. I'm using a brown, and I'm using this red, orange, yellow. And what happens is that you get a hat that's reversible, because you've got this side, so the main color here is the orange, yellow, red, and then in between you'll see the brown. If you stretch it out, and then you can always flip it so that you can wear it with the brown on the outside and the orange, yellow, red shows on the inside. So this hat is going to be the Harlow hat. Let me just grab a picture of that. There's a funny story that goes with this. But anyways, this is by Drea Renee Nitz, who is, oh my God, I just had her name in my head and I just completely lost it. Andrea Mowry. That's it there. So I'm knitting this one. I'm not sure who it's for. Might be for my son. We'll see. The funny story with this is that I did this a year and a half ago. It's been quite a while. And there we go. A year and a half ago. And I put it down, as you do, right? You never think you're going to put something down. With cross stitches, the same. But I put it down for some reason because the next new and flashy thing came up. And I didn't make notes for myself. I didn't leave myself any notes because, excuse me, I didn't intend to put it down for a long time. So of course I'm going to remember, right? Totally forgot what the pattern was. I could not remember. So it sat for almost a year because I totally forgot what it was. And then one day I'm at a knit night with some friends of mine, and I asked my friend Joanne, I said, I brought this with me, and because I thought, okay, maybe I was knitting it with them one time and they would remember what it was. Well, my friend Joanne actually knew exactly what it was because she had started one at the same time. So thank goodness now I know what it is. And I won't forget, and I'm going to finish it. So the reason I'm showing it now is because the next time I see you, I would like to have that. I would like to have that hat finished. It is still winter, not for long. I guess it'll be spring at the end of this month, but that's fine. As long as I have it finished in the next month, I'll be really happy, and then it'll be off my WIP pile. What I'd like to do is I have a bunch of knitting WIPs that have been just sitting there because cross stitch is my new love, right? It's the new and shiny, and I've been spending all my spare time either knitting socks or cross stitching. So I'm going to take one WIP at a time and work on it. So I've got some really big WIPs. I've got sweaters that are underway. I've got t-shirts that are like 90% finished. I've got a sweater which I just have the collar done and I have to do all the rest of it. I have other sweaters and things that I want to start. And my knitting bug is starting to come back. So what that will mean for my cross stitch bug, I don't know. But I would like to get moving. I want to show you something else. Another knitting project. This one has been on the go for quite a while as well, a couple of years. Oh, finding random stuff in here. Apparently I was wearing bracelets. Migraine essential oil. Anyways, this one I have shown before. And I pick this up whenever, again, I can't think about anything, or even if I'm stuck in bed with a migraine, I can knit without looking because it is just knit, 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 knit. Until you get to this part, and then there's a turn, a wrap and turn, which is why you see that way, and then the rest of it is more squarish. So the last time I showed you which was probably a couple months ago. I was right here at this marker. So I've not done a lot. I've not done a lot of it, but I do want to continue working on that. This yarn is, I always forget the name, Blue Moon Fiber Arts Gaia Fingering. So it's a 100% organic merino in the colorway Strawberry Fields Forever. And I love it. It's kind of a, so they're all hand dyed, right? So it's kind of a, it's got all kinds of different shades of pink. It's not a flat color, which is beautiful. It's going to be beautiful when it's done. And I want to continue making a little bit of progress on that. That's why I'm showing you. Now, a couple of things I've not touched in quite some time, but I want to. And again, I'm going to show you there. I'm going to show you them just to keep myself accountable. Okay, so the first thing I want to show you is a knitted blanket. Hopefully you don't. So this blanket is called the Northeasterly blanket. Oh, I still have knitting needles, active knitting needles in there. So the Northeasterly blanket is one that you can use scraps for. So I have I knit a lot of socks, and a lot of fingering weight, things like, sweaters and t-shirts and all kinds of shawls and all kinds of stuff. So I have a lot of leftovers. And with the leftovers, I'm making this blanket, which is basically a chevron blanket. And I'm trying very hard not to, I'll show you what happens in a second, or what's happening. Okay, maybe if I start from the bottom. So you start with one of these. You knit as much as you want. So I take leftovers and I knit as much as I feel like. And before I go to the next one, some only have a couple of rows. As you can see, some have more. And then you can attach the next row and the next row and the next row. So let me just move down. So you can see there, I've got this row. So I just finished this yarn and I'm now starting on the white marled yarn. And then this row, I have the stitches on a holder, so I'll come back to it at some point. And then we come down, down, down. You can see I had quite a bit of this, quite a bit of that, quite a bit of this red. I think that was from a pair of socks. It was a color changing. Yeah, it was color changing. I don't know if you can, it's not really showing up, it's blowing up, but there's actually different colors of red in there and purple, going down to a purple. And then I've got another active one right here, which, yeah, it's just holding the stitches. I don't have any plans for this to be done. Like, this is just, as I have leftovers, I will put the yarns in here. I haven't touched it in quite a while. What I was doing, I'll have to show you my I don't have my Santa. I have this little Frosty. I have this plastic Frosty thing. I don't remember what came in it, but I have all my little leftover balls in there, and I just pick randomly. And what I was doing for a couple of years, what I did is I did this for Advent, as an Advent calendar. So every day I would put in one section. So, but this year I didn't do it. I don't remember why, but anyways, I didn't do it. So I when I have leftovers, I put some in here, and I always make sure that I leave enough. Is that a needle? That's not good. Just put a needle in there. I also make sure, well, I do this first actually. I do my square. I have this blanket also that I'm going, so I make sure that I put in a square here and then I put the rest into that other blanket. And again, I was doing this well, with the Advent, so I would try to put in 25 squares a year. I haven't done that this year. So again, it's not a blanket. It'll get finished at some point. Whenever it gets finished, it gets finished. It doesn't have a due date. And I'm just gonna keep, the nice thing about this is that you can really go anywhere. Like you can knit anywhere around it, right? So I try to get colors that are, you know, I'm not, yeah, I mean, I try to make sure I don't have like colors that don't go well together, but I'm also not really worrying about it because the overall effect is going to be beautiful. Nice scrappy blanket. And I have another blanket. This one is a crochet blanket. So I showed you a crochet blanket before. I'm knitting my son a queen size crochet blanket. I had knit one for my daughter when she went off to school, and now I'm knitting one for my son, and it's taking a very long time, as you might imagine. I haven't worked on it in a little while as well because cross stitch, and this one's been put on hold for a couple of years now too. I don't know how big I'm going to make this. I'm just doing, I guess it's a lot. It'll be a lap blanket, I guess. Anyways, this one is a mosaic. So where did I start? Oh, okay. This one's being done with worsted weight yarn. So I started on that. So this is the Havana blanket cal. So you can look it up on Ravelries. I think it's still called the Havana blanket cal, C-A-L, because it was a crochet along at one point. So those two, so you take two contrasting colors, then those, then that, and then this. Seeing this again really makes me want to do it. Yeah, and it is crochet, not knit. Stopped there, so I wasn't quite finished this. At some point I'll finish this this stripe. And we'll see, maybe by the end of April. Let's say by the end of April I will finish this stripe. I think that's a plan. I think that is a plan. And that's all. I do have, you can probably see right there, there's another shawl. It's the same as the pink one that I just showed you, except that one is being done with Madeline Tosh lace weight, because I wanted one that was I wanted one that was lighter and airier, and that one again has been on hold for quite a while as well. And it'll get done when it gets done. It's fine. Yeah, I mean, I used to knit every single day, and I don't do that nearly as much anymore, which I should. But cross stitch has been my thing lately. So I do want to get back into it. I'm loving it. I did do some more spinning as well. Yep. I did do some more spinning as well. So I'm spinning this lovely fluff from Australia, I think. And my plan is to make a funky hat for my daughter. maybe a hat and some gloves. So it'll be, right now I'm just spinning the wool. Then I will probably do just a 2-ply, a loose 2-ply, so it's nice and fluffy and warm. And yeah, I'll probably make maybe a cowl and a hat or something from that at some point. But yeah, now I'm just rambling. I've been on for over an hour. Oh my gosh. Let me know a couple things. So one, let me know if you're still here. Thank you so much, by the way. But let me down in the comments as to which you prefer to see, the Coliseum or Grand Library. Which one should be one of my focuses, and or whether I should switch the focus from the Coliseum to Magic Study, not Magic Study, Grand Library. And secondly, what do you think of if I moved to weekly updates, so that they're shorter, or do you prefer the longer videos? Let me know. I'd really love to know. Anyways, I've kept you long enough. If you've been here for the past hour and a while, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. I love spending time with you guys, and I couldn't wait to put this video out. So I was really glad that I had time to do that. And I'll be back in about 2 weeks, maybe, or maybe a week. We'll see, with my focus projects, and I have quite a lot to show you there too. So we'll see you next time. Thank you so much. Bye.